received a total of 115 applications from press reporters alone across Europe, and 17 countries are taking these pictures of renewed combat between two of the master class of European competitors. Liverpool in their 20th consecutive season in European football, Benfica in their 24th. And besides appreciating that, the fans have just heard some last-minute team news. Sammy Lee was declared fit following his rib injury at Everton on Saturday, so the team is unchanged. Only one survivor in the starting lineup from the Liverpool side, which beat Benfica 4-1 here at the same stage of the same competition 6 years ago. And that's Phil Neal, who scored on that occasion. But so too did Kenny Dalglish, and he's among the Liverpool substitutes tonight after missing 14 matches with a fractured cheekbone. Benfica are without injured defenders Pietra and Umberto, but all their team are internationals, including the Swedish midfield player at number 8, Glenn Stromberg. He followed the coach, Sven Eriksson, from Gothenburg, where they won the UEFA Cup 2 years ago, and last year they reached that same final again with Benfica. And on Eriksson's coaching staff is Benfica's most famous son, the great Eusebio, back in the city where he won so many friends in 1966. And as is the habit with all continental sides, Benfica pose for a team photo. Generous applause too for them from the Kop. The referee this evening is Heinz Farnler from Austria, and he has two Austrian linesmen. Indeed, as a team, they'll be officiating at the European Championship finals in France. Liverpool get the match started. It's the first leg, remember, of this quarter-final, and Liverpool attacking the Kop in the first half with Alan Kennedy here. And that was cleared by Oliveira, the number 3 for Benfica. And the goalkeeper Bento had a horrific time here in 1978. He dragged an Ian Callaghan cross into his own net early on and never recovered, although he is the Portuguese national goalkeeper and captain. Well, the crowd gave that decision. Handball. Liverpool yet to concede a goal in the European Cup this season, thanks to, in particular, to 2 clean sheets against Bilbao in the last round. Fine performance to win in Spain. There goes Robinson. And here is Robinson. Well, there are still rumours on Merseyside of linking Liverpool with new strikers. This is being talked about still, and Paul Walsh, but Michael Robinson is the second top scorer. Off the heels of Diamantino. Forward by Kennedy. Robinson competes with Oliveira. Poor header out by Alvaro to Lee. Rush, Lee. Souness with the drive and off the head of Oliveira. Good shot by Souness. Johnston's up, and that's Robinson, and it ran on for Rush. Just wonder whether there might have been an offside. Well, first a touch there from Michael Robinson, flick on by Whelan, but they were appealing for offside against Rush on the 6-yard line. That goes Nene, good flick, trying to get in Diamantino. An accomplished player is Nene. Carlos Manuel. And here he is again, offside. He's very much the activator in midfield, is Carlos Manuel, and a temperamental player too. He's served 2 suspensions this season already in Portuguese football. Here's Hansen. Kennedy's pushed well on down the left in this attack. Souness. Lee. Oh, well played by Shalana. Nene's gone inside dangerously. Further over is Diamantino, having to be marked here. And Grobbelaar beat him to it. Now it's rush for Liverpool, but not for long. Hansen. Neil forward. Back by Alvaro. We had some indication just then of the incisiveness of Benfica's football when they attack. Really was a good, swift break down the left, and it very, very nearly puts Diamantino into a scoring position. Lee. Neil. Here's Hansen. On the chest of Johnston to Neil. Good ball up for Rush. Headed on, and Bastos Lopez only as far as Johnston. And it might run on for Rush again. Souness. Tame in the end. There's a pass to the goalkeeper eventually by Souness. Johnston involved again in the move. And Lawrenson missed it. That was Nene to Shalana. Diamantino's in the centre and Neil took Shalana. Well, the two players that Benfica could look for here for height are Stromberg and Oliveira. And it was pulled very short and driven by Jose Luis. A few words being exchanged among the Benfica players. Obviously a rehearsed free kick, but they prefer a better shot. Not often you see the name Dalglish among the substitutes. David Hodgson, the other forward player that Liverpool could call upon. Neil. And Stromberg. Ronnie Whelan to Kennedy. Russia started a run down the left. He was well found by Kennedy. And he's looking for Souness, and Rush is there again. Bento came to meet him, but the flag was up for offside before Rush even had the attempt. You'll see why, because when Souness tucked it back in, the defenders had stopped. They're appealing for offside again, not given this time. Rush with Oliveira, he's beaten him. And Rush pulled it back, but the whistle's gone for a foul. May even have been handballed that by Ian Rush. He might have used his arm to entice the ball along a little bit. Forward by Alan Kennedy, actually. Just see what happens if the defender goes over. Yes, hands. On by Stromberg, and Nene still looking for that little dart through the centre, at which he's so accomplished. On by Lee. Bastos Lopez only as far as Souness. Now Neil. Liverpool's build-up not quite as accurate as normal at this stage. Joe Fagan has said they haven't been playing with quite the touch and the rhythm that he would like, despite the fact they haven't been beaten in 8 games since the FA Cup defeat at Brighton. Stromberg, Shalana. Ran away from Carlos Manuel. Craig Johnston. Ronnie Whelan. Souness takes over. Looks to rush. And now Neil. And rush all the way to the line. It's well played, that. Benfica taking some chances with this one-touch football. But it paid off. Shalana. Alvaro's in the attack. Carlos Manuel bringing Veloso into it. The fullback well forward. Diamantino. And Liverpool now shaking a little bit, but not when Neil got it. Bento comes a long way out to meet Michael Robinson. He says he was outside his area. The referee looked at his linesman. Nothing given. Boots from the Kop. And that's a good-looking ball, but offside against Shalana. Well, we know that the Benfica goalkeeper can be eccentric. Bento is 35 years old and has won 43 caps for his country. And rush impeded by Oliveira, number 3. And Souness floats it, and Lawrenson coming in. He was the last man for Liverpool, and he appealed. But he's got nothing. Patience is the name of the game in Europe, as Joe Fagan would tell you. Souness. This is Johnston. Looks for Whelan. Pulls it back, but Stromberg covering in front of Neil, who'd gone forward. Oh, it's well played by Shalana. They do love these touches. On by Diamantino. Jose Luis made the run on the far side. And Grobbelaar hasn't held it. And Diamantino was very nearly in. He'll be penalised. But Liverpool fans... hearts would be beating there, because Grobbelaar's had a bad moment in the European Cup quarter-final for the last 2 seasons. Some of them have blamed him for the defeats in Sofia and against Vitesse Lodz, and he was shaking a bit there. Good swift break again by the Portuguese. Just the one touch in midfield and they were away. Only 2 minutes left too in the first half. Lee. Liverpool needing that backing from the Kop just at the moment, because Benfica are playing with a great deal of assurance, and that's brought the Liverpool manager Joe Fagan down to the bench. Little flick from Nene. Lee to Robinson. And into the last minute of the first half. Phil Neal gets it back in. And again. Diamantino. Johnston now. Went past 2 of them, 3 of them. Found Whelan and Johnston again. And after all that, he sliced the shot. Warm applause though for Craig Johnston. Liverpool don't normally expect their players to take on 2 or 3 opponents in one run. It's not their style, but Johnson did it there. Played a return with Whelan and then miscued. Well, it's a tactician's match up to now. A lot of thought going into it from both benches. And Liverpool in the first half, as often happens at home in Europe, have found themselves smothered by a well-disciplined Benfica team who've also shown some delightful touch play when they've come out of their own half. Well, 2 reserve matches is all Kenny Dalglish has had since he was injured on the 2nd of January. But he comes on at the beginning of the second half, in the week of his 33rd birthday, in place of a very ineffective Michael Robinson, and he gets a tremendous ovation from the Liverpool supporters all around the ground. The question is, can he change the course of this first leg quarter-final against a Benfica team who have 20 league matches this season in Portugal, have won 18 and drawn 2. Indeed, they had a 7-0 win only last Saturday, and they've begun this second half with a free kick. Forward by Carlos Manuel, looking for Stromberg. They say that crowds don't have heroes these days as they once did in the 40s and 50s, but there's a wonderful appreciation around Anfield for this fellow, and deservedly so. Rush. Dalglish. Rush again. Johnston's in the centre. Forward by Kennedy. As they came out, it was Stromberg, whose pass went astray to Neil. Nice turn. Benfica working hard to close them down. Kennedy. Souness. Oh, good ball, no. Offside. Ronnie Whelan. Cunning ball, though, delivered by the Liverpool captain. That's what's required. Some intuition to find a way through a very compact Portuguese defence. Nene, Stromberg, Alvaro, challenged by Lee. And certainly it can be said the referee hasn't leaned over in favour of Liverpool. Series of free kicks going the other way. Carlos Manuel looks for Stromberg. Bit of a Tony Curry figure in appearance, and partly in the languid way, deceptive way, he sometimes controls the game in midfield, Glenn Stromberg. So 10 minutes gone in the second half. Stromberg earned the free kick for Benfica. Shalana will take it. Pulled that one back and it was rifled. Carlos Manuel's made some strong runs from this position. The number 6. He drove that well. It's Kennedy. It's a good ball. But Whelan didn't collect it cleanly. Liverpool's touch has deserted them at times tonight. It's usually that part of their game which is so precise. Neil. Russia's got 4 others up with him. 5 now. Whelan. And Kennedy joins them. Both full-backs up. And it was a full-back who half cleared it. Veloso. Johnston putting his boot back on. So Liverpool have to start the build-up all over again and hope this time there'll be something on the end of it. Hansen comes forward. Dalglish is touched to Souness. Dalglish let that one run, and Whelan's there, and so's Dalglish. And was he brought down? Kenny Dalglish right on the edge of the area. And the Liverpool players hoping the referee might point to the spot, but he's given it in the D. An hour gone, and opportunity could beckon Liverpool here. Dalglish's presence forcing Benfica into errors they didn't commit in the first half. But Liverpool badly need a goal. How badly at this stage? Dalglish to float one. And had it gone inside the post, Bento would have been nowhere near it. He was covering the other side. It was an attempt to curl one over the wall and in the other corner. Must say Benfica are a much better organised team defensively than when they came here 6 years ago. I remember that match well. Liverpool took them apart, but they haven't tonight so far. Not even once. Souness, Lee, and Oliveira clears. Shalana, Stromberg, Carlos Manuel, and now Kennedy. Jose Luis, Souness, Dalglish, a nice turn, and Neal's up on the right, and Johnston's on the left. Intercepted by Veloso, and here's Diamantino. Nene goes right. Scored in both legs, Nene in 78 against Liverpool, with rapier thrusts through the centre. Souness. Got it back from Rush, and here's Johnston. A chance. Saved. The best opening that Liverpool have created. Rush combining neatly with Souness, and Johnston was the player they put through. But Bento had the angle right on his 6-yard line. Good stop. Souness. They're good, crisp tacklers, these Benfica defenders, there's no doubt about that. Winning the ball cleanly, and quickly too. But the left back, Alvaro, may have taken a knock in that last tackle, just hobbling a bit as he marks Ian Rush. Here's Kennedy. He's got Whelan to his left. Pass wasn't good enough. Dalglish. His was to Lee. Dalglish threading it forward. He's directing operations from behind Rush and Johnston. But we're 25 minutes away from the end of this first leg, and Liverpool so far have nothing at all to show for home advantage. It's Carlos Manuel who slipped. And a poor clearance by Veloso. Kennedy. But Veloso driving it against Kennedy again, and gets a third chance to clear. Carlos Manuel, Jose Luis, Whelan for Liverpool. Neal. Dalglish, a nice turn away from Veloso, but not to get past Stromberg. This is Hansen. Johnston. Well, can Liverpool get somebody through from the back, I wonder, because those further forward are finding it hard going. What can Rush do? Johnston. Whelan. And here is a man from the back. Kennedy. And Rush. The goal Anfield wanted. Alan Kennedy came up from left back and put in the best cross of the night from the Liverpool angle, and watch Ian Rush. Bento started to go, lost his way. Rush found the back of the net. His 34th goal of the season. And it's come at a very good time for Liverpool. 67 minutes. Alan Kennedy supplying the cross. And supplying relief too for the supporters. Last Liverpool had a lead. And the inevitable scorer, Ian Rush. Rush again. Dalglish. Now we might see the real Liverpool. Souness. Just bear in mind, though, Benfica wouldn't be happy in one way to lose the first leg, but they wouldn't mind so much if it was 1-0. Liverpool need a second. Before they go back to Lisbon. And there's always the danger that Benfica can break swiftly with Shalana. And Nene's going through the middle, and Grobbelaar's come to meet him. Successfully. They've really got to watch Nene on these breaks. He took that very early before Lawrenson could get to him. And Sven Eriksson, the coach, with the spectacles there, is going to put on Mikael Manica, the Danish player who is in the squad to meet Holland in a friendly next week. Diamantino is the player who's gone off because Manica, who's got a strapping around his left thigh, is very much a striker. He's come on with 18 minutes to go and his side one down. So we've now got two blondes on the pitch in the Benfica team. But Manica, distinguishable by that black bandage, and he gets a touch to Carlos Manuel. Nene is coming in here dangerously, and Manica's there. Could have scored at once. I asked Eriksson, the coach, today where else he could play. He said nowhere, he's only a striker. He found a good position there. And a good break too again by Carlos Manuel. So Joe Fagan has something to show for his side's efforts at this stage, but he would want a bit more. Dalglish. And Bento, he might look at himself a little bit on the go. It's always easy to criticise keepers, but the cross looked a bit close to him, and he seemed to change his mind. But Benfica haven't lost their composure. A very neat side in places. Forward by Dalglish. Rush competes for it. Lee follows up. And Souness. And Souness. And Bento relieved in the end to get hold of it. Dalglish looks to his right where there are two. And Souness now getting into some threatening positions for Liverpool. He's found Lee. Dalglish, Kennedy's forward again here. They work it carefully and precisely into an attacking position, which is spoiled really by Kennedy's pass, meant for Whelan. And Ian Rush tackling back well on Veloso. Whelan and Dalglish. Oh, nearly on to Johnston. Alvaro was in the way. He's there again, number 4. And Johnston will settle for what should be a corner. Good movement by Liverpool, down to Rush being so persistent in tackling back. Souness. Dalglish. Johnston supplying the ammunition. And Neil got a foot in there. That was Stromberg looking for Shalana. And Lawrenson's had to be very quick at times, which he is anyway, to cut out the threat of those swift breaks by Benfica. Stromberg. Nene. Shalana. Looks to his right to find Veloso. And Manica. Rush. So it's still 1-0 as Hansen comes forward. Johnston's out on the right. Whelan's wide on the left. And Kennedy has found him onside. Rush in the centre, so is Johnston. And the ball out surely before Ronnie Whelan crossed. It wasn't out of the penalty area when they took the goal kick. But they seem to have got away with it, unless you count Bente's steps, which the referee obviously didn't. 10 minutes left in this first leg. Liverpool have a 1-goal advantage. Here's Souness. Jose Luis. Kennedy in well. But his enthusiasm is always a major factor, Alan Kennedy, even though passes sometimes go astray, but he would admit he drives forward all the time. And he reached that ball well too, did Kennedy. Lee. Johnston. Dalglish. It was Lee that was brought down. Lastas Lopez. Well, Bento will want some sort of ball here. Wasn't all that successful last time when Dalglish curled one. Wonder what he might try and do here. That far corner looks very inviting, doesn't it, from here, but Bento hasn't quite finished yet. Souness off Manica. Johnston. The angle wasn't ideal in a way. Souness came behind Dalglish and Manica got in the way of the shot, and then Johnston drove one which was drifting a long way wide. Manica. Kennedy forward. Header by Oliveira. Now Lawrenson. Flags up. Offside. Here's Kennedy. Johnston. That's well played. Ronnie Whelan. Rush over on the far side. Handball they're calling for. Referee said no. Well, Liverpool seem convinced by that. Has the linesman seen it? That's the question. The referee looked across. Nothing given. The referee doesn't mind about the quick free kick rush. It's been wasted anyway. Well, was there a penalty incident there? Liverpool looked absolutely convinced. They turned to a man as the ball came in. Was it his hand? Manika's header, Nene could be in. Neil came across. Good long kick by Grobbelaar, but easy for Oliveira. Now Souness. Neil. So a minute left of normal time, and there won't be much time added on here for stoppages, because the game has flowed pretty continuously. There's been no long delays for injuries. Played in a sporting spirit, in fact almost genteel at times for a European tie. And right on the button, the referee brings to an end the first leg with Ian Rush's goal separating Liverpool and Benfica. It means that Liverpool, who brought Dalglish on in the second half to bring a little bit more inventiveness to their play, will take a one-goal advantage into the Stadium of Light in 2 weeks' time. But they won there in 1978. They won in Bilbao earlier this season. So the Football League champions could still quite easily reach the semi-finals of the European Cup. It won't be easy over there, obviously, but Benfica have then got to come out and prove what they can do, the side making the play. But as the teams go off and the fans go home, they'll be asking, did the Austrian referee miss a handball late in the game? When the cross came in, don't look for the first defender, that's Bastos Lopes. Look for Alvaro there. Did he use his left arm to deflect that cross away? I thought so. The Liverpool players thought so. Perhaps it should, after all, have been 2-0 on the night.
Well, Mark, first of all, what's the feeling in the Liverpool dressing room at the end of that first leg?
Well, we felt it was very much like the last game we played in the European Cup against Atletico Bilbao. Obviously, we've got a better result at home, scoring 1 goal. We knew it was going to be very tight, and you know, we were disappointed at half-time, obviously, not to score, but we didn't really play well first half anyway. But I think we're pleased with the 1-0 result.
How good a side do you feel Benfica are?
I think they're a good side. They've obviously got some good players, but it was a case really of them pulling back tonight and you know, stopping us from scoring. It's going to be a different game in Portugal, obviously. And, you know, we fancy our chances because they've got to come at us now with us having a 1-goal advantage.
How convinced are the lads that that should have been a penalty when the fullback appeared to handle shortly before the end?
Well, you only see a snatch of it, don't you, when you're actually playing, but we all thought it was a penalty. The boss seemed to think it was a penalty. The referee didn't give